Welcome to The Shed Wireless, a podcast for shedders, hosted by John Paul Young and produced by the Australian Men's Shed Association.
Yeah, there's something for you at the Men's Shed.
Hello and welcome back to the Shed Wireless podcast, made in Australia and distributed all over the world. Today we have a special episode direct from the Mental Health Big Breakfast held recently at the Wynnum Manly and District's Men's Shed, and that's in the Brisbane municipality. Here's what we'll be talking about in this episode. We have a very special guest on the show today. Marty talks to an honorary member of the Wynnum Manly Shed, Sister Angela Mary Doyle. I think there might be a little bit of Irish there, and you'll need to stick around to listen to find out what makes her so special. In On the Pulse, Stuart Torrence caught up with a couple of blokes from two of the organisations involved in the Big Breakfast about mental health. And we're on the road with David Westlake from the Wynnum Manly Shed, who's talking to Marty about their beautiful area and the wonderful things you can see around there. Nailed it! Rip is also on a road trip and he tells us his best tips for road tripping. Mind that step, Rip. Okay, let's get into today's Shed Wireless.
G'day, this is Michael Caton. You're listening to The Shed Wireless. Find us on YouTube or wherever you get your podcasts.
I don't think there'd be too many men's shed in Australia with a 100-year-old Irish Catholic nun as a member, but the Wynnum Manly and District Shed has made Sister Angela Mary Doyle an honorary member. I'll hand it over to Marty to tell you more.
Hey JPY, Marty here, and today I'm at the Wynnum Manly Men's Shed, just on the outskirts of Brisbane. We're here for an event. It's the Shedders Big Breakfast here this morning. And I'm meeting some wonderful people. We've got some great exhibits happening. But there's a very special guest here that I thought I just have to interview for the Shed Wireless, because this lady is the patron of the shed, I believe. And I don't think we have many female patrons of sheds to start with, but this lady is very special in her own self. Sister Angela Mary. She's an honorary member of the Wynnum Manly Men's Shed. I am going to just give you a couple of the notes that I was given by one of the guys here at the shed. I'm just going to read this out. It says, despite our Wynnum Shed remaining a men-only shed, we do have several honorary members. There are people that we have recognised that have made a significant impact on our shed or on the broader community. Sister Angela Mary is one of these honorary members. She's very proud to be a member of our shed, and in talking to her, she refers to it as my shed. Is that right?
Yes, definitely, or our shed.
Definitely our shed, righto. Sister Angela Mary Doyle, thank you very much for speaking to me today. It is lovely to see you here at the shed. Do you love it here?
I love it. And I was introduced to it by David and his wife Anne. And I'm glad that I'm part of it. I come here and I'm amazed at the goodness, and I see the change that it has on men who are here, meeting with one another, learning skills that they thought they'd never have, and the joy that is among them, and the good nature of everybody, and the happiness.
Absolutely. I often say, I wonder what these blokes did before the men's shed. So, yeah, it definitely is a life-changing thing, these sheds. So how long ago did you become involved with the men's shed?
I became a member, say, 5 years ago. But I had known David and Anne long before that. It was through an adoption that at the Martyr. They adopted a little girl that I knew, a little baby. And we became, I didn't know then, it was all done, just a secret code, but the government told me, use that number, find them. I met them, David and Anne, never knew who they were, never got to know their name, but 50 years later, I met them in a lift at the Martyr, and wow. Anne said to me, what's your name? And I thought, what have I done? What haven't I done?
I get that a lot.
Yeah. So I gave her my name, and there she said, with great joy, she said, 50 years ago, you handed over to us the little baby that became our daughter. And I remembered it very well, because adoptions at the Martyr were very rare.
Wow, what an amazing story. So 50 years later.
50 years later. And I was amazed to find that all those years they were living in Wynnum, and I was just living in South Brisbane, and I didn't know anything about them. I often wondered who they were and were they good to the little girl.
Fantastic! What a beautiful reunion that is. So you do have quite an illustrious career. I did a little bit of research, but I'll get you to tell us a little bit. So where were you born? Because that's not an Australian accent.
No, yes, I was born in Ireland and at County Clare on the west coast of Ireland, and I was one of a family of 9. Yeah. And eventually I decided to come to Australia and be a Sister of Mercy, where I could help people, give my life to God. Yeah. I didn't know what that meant at that time, but I came out here in 1947. Were you born then? Were you born in 1947?
I was born in 1973.
Yeah, so you're just a youngster. Yeah. You're just a youngster. Yeah. And anyway, I was taught for 6 months and loved it. I was a teacher, and I loved it. Grade 2, I had 42 of them, and I loved them, and they loved me. And we thought we were friends forever. But I was sent to the Mater to train as a nurse because they were short of sisters at the Mater Hospital. Yes. So I ended there, having to train as a nurse for 4 years, and then it went on.
Wow. So how long ago was that, sorry?
I came 1947, 1966, 1948. I was sent to the Mater Hospital. And sent, yeah. Because they were short. And I went there, and I was there until 1966. I was a nurse, and then I was appointed in charge of the Mater as administrator of the Mater. Yeah. And I protested about that, and I said it would be a disaster to appoint me. I know nothing about government, nothing about big funding or anything like that. But I had to. I took it because there was, a reason for it. They wanted me to take it, so I took it. And that night I went to bed, and I thought, how am I going to do this task? I don't know it. And I remembered Oscar Wilde. He was an Irish poet, and he said, "Look down, O Christ, and help me. Look down, for I'm drowning in a stormier sea than Simon on thy lake of Galilee." Wow. That's how badly I felt. Yeah. Yep. So anyway, it worked out all right, and I stayed there, and I've been 19. Yeah.
And am I right to believe that you recently just turned 100?
Yes, I was 100 on the 19th of August.
Unbelievable. You do not look 100 years old.
Actually, I don't feel 100. I think maybe I feel 90. Not sure. But I've never bothered about my age. I just kept going and doing things. And so it doesn't bother me.
Age is just a number, as they say.
Yeah, that's right. Yes, I haven't ever bothered about age. Yeah. I think it's being able to reach out and help people. Being there with your heart ready to reach out wherever you see a need. And if you can help the need, do it. And I don't belong to any political party. Yeah. So I was able to go to politicians when there was a need that I myself couldn't meet, and I would talk to a politician, tell him there's a need here, can you get somebody to fix it? Yep. And they were always obliging, regardless of what party they belonged to.
Wow.
Yeah.
And I've read something too, back in the day, you had a bit to do with when the HIV virus sort of became present?
I did. That was a very hard time. The Premier of the day wrote in the Courier Mail, he said that nobody must help these men because their illness is a direct punishment from God.
Wow.
Now we thought, what kind of a God does he know? So I was approached, and somebody said, well, I'd be the best one to do it. So I said, yes, I'm happy to do it. So I got involved. There was a Queensland AIDS Council, a group of 3 men. They formed like an administrative group. They got together themselves to see what they could do. And I was with them. And when people from other states knew that we were looking after the people with AIDS, they came from interstate, and they would tell their parents or friends or whoever, I got a wonderful job in Queensland. I'm going to go there because it's a pity I can't turn it down. I'll go there. So they arrive in Brisbane, knowing nobody, no place to stay. So the Mater gave them 3 houses. We had bought, thinking, we'll be expanding or something, 3 houses in the area, rent-free. And wow. So it was a wonderful time, and I got to know these men, such gentle, lovely men. I worked with them for about 7 years. Wow. And I wondered, I didn't know much about their lifestyle, as you can imagine. Yeah. But there was one afternoon, the Bill Rudkin from Toowoomba, he's still living in Toowoomba. Bill Rudkin said to me, there's a man dying of AIDS at Dutton Park, and there's a priest going to say Mass for him in the morning. Will you come? I said, yes, I'll come. So I came, and when I went into the room, he was just a man, he was gaunt, never seen anything more like a skeleton. Yeah. And his ribs were out, and and I thought when I walked in, having been a nurse, I thought he was dead. But anyway, the Mass began, and at the end of Mass, his partner realized he was dead. and he threw himself across the bed in a paroxysm of grief. And I looked at him and I thought, here are two men loved by God as much as I'm loved and everybody else is loved. So I bent down, I raised him, I put my arms around him, raised him up and held him to my chest while he sobbed and sobbed. And it was when I used to think, I don't know how to help these men, but it came to me then that, look, I may not know how to help them, but if I have love in my heart for them, I'll find a way.
Oh.
That was a real help for me.
I have goosebumps. I honestly have goosebumps. You are just a beautiful, beautiful soul, and that is a beautiful story. Wow. You're like Brisbane's very own Mother Teresa, I think.
No, I'm not sure of that. I'm pretty ordinary, very ordinary. But
I think Saint Angela Mary. What do you think? I think that could be coming.
I think you better stop that. No, I don't believe that at all. But it's a matter of caring for one another, isn't it?
Yes.
And being ready to help, and no judging. Regardless judging of race or age or what people do. Help if you can. Yeah, make no judgment.
Isn't that just something that we learn as we age, though, as you get older? Isn't it something you just find that you just learn, and you appreciate people and you appreciate circumstances and what drew people to be who and how they are and what they are?
Yeah, you're absolutely right. I think that's it. We grow, provided our minds are ready for it and our hearts are ready for it.
Yeah.
If we're ready to realize other people, they are just as good people as we are, try to be. And maybe better than we are. Yeah. And when you can help, you help with a great heart and happily. And I was able to get a lot of help for them quietly.
Wow.
The Premier of the day wouldn't let us, wouldn't let anyone help them. So we were doing it silently. And we were very nervous because the martyr was involved and I was involved, the martyr and the Sisters of Mercy were involved. And we were just afraid that the Premier would hear that we were helping when he said nobody should help them. And there was a risk for us because you could have withdrawn the help that we needed for our 3 public hospitals. We had children's, adult public, and martyr mothers. But we did it because what was right was right. We'd take the risk and we did it for them.
I'm not going to ask who that Premier was, but he sounds like you'd liken him to some sort of German dictator, wouldn't you? But
Joe Bjelke-Petersen.
Oh, there
yes,
you
Joe
go.
Bjelke-Petersen, that was his
There you
name.
go,
Yes,
isn't it?
and he thought he was doing right.
Yeah.
He thought he was. He thought that he was stopping people doing the wrong thing. But these men were lovely men. I got to know them and I knew them, stayed with them, working with them for about 7 years. And then the Queensland AIDS Council were able to, and I thought I must withdraw because it looked as though I'm important to it, whereas these are the men that are doing it all.
Yeah.
So I withdrew, but I always loved those men and cared for them. Yeah.
Wow. Well, I think we've just the tip of the iceberg just speaking to you today. You've got such, I encourage anybody out there to do a bit of Googling on Sister Angela Mary because she's got an incredible story, an incredible life, and it was such a pleasure to meet you here today. And the guys are privileged to have you as their patron of the Shed here, an honorary member of the Shed. So
thank you very much. I'm honoured to be here. It's wonderful and I love coming here. To see the men, the happiness among them, the way they help one another. It's beautiful, beautiful sight.
Simple yet effective, the old men's shed, isn't it? It's fantastic. All right. Well, thank you so much for your time, and I hope we cross paths again sometime. Thank you very much. Okay, back to you, JPY.
The Wynnum Manly area was originally occupied by the Quandamooka Indigenous peoples. The name Wynnum has its Indigenous origins as Weenam or Wynnam, the name for the local breadfruit tree, or pandanus. Aboriginal history of Quandamooka, that's Moreton Bay, stretches back over 25,000 years, and Aboriginal connection to the Wynnum area has remained strong throughout European colonisation. On the Pulse, on the Shed Wireless. Today on the Pulse, Stuart brings us 2 conversations recorded at the Big Breakfast event. First, he chats with Greg McGann, Manager of Young Adult and Mental Health Services at Marty Hospital in Brisbane, followed by Ashely Dawson from Nitro Garage Mental Health Hub.
So I'm up here in the Wynnum Manly Shed gathering. Greg McGann's just done a wonderful intro into Mental Health Week. Greg, can you tell us a little bit about yourself and what you do?
Yeah, sure. Thanks for having me. I'm the manager of the Young Adult and Mental Health Services at the Marty Hospital in Brisbane. I'm a mental health nurse and have worked in mental health for about 30 years. I have an interest in young people's mental health, but increasingly, probably as I get older, I'm thinking about the mental health of older men and really see men's sheds as a way of promoting good mental health.
Greg, over the years that you've been in the mental health space, what do you see as maybe the main catalyst for mental health? What would you see being the main, I suppose, driver in this new day and age?
I think when I started in mental health 30 years ago, we thought of it in a very medical model kind of a way. We looked at a list of problems and we tried to fix them. I think increasingly in mental health policy, in mental health treatment, in the way mental health services are funded, we're really moving now towards prevention and promotion of good mental health. So the emphasis on treatment and long-term treatment has certainly gone away with the closure of big institutions and things like that. And we're really looking at treating people for shorter periods of time, but hoping to find ways where we can avoid people ending up with mental health problems. That's the ideal.
So we're looking for a preventative measure. Would you say community connection would be a big driver in regards to people's mental health?
Yeah, well, the theme of this year's Mental Health Week is connecting for community. And I think it's increasingly recognised that good social connections are a wonderful preventer of health problems in general, but particularly mental health problems. I was just talking to the guys here at the Shed and mentioning that in the UK they've got a Minister for Loneliness. The World Health Organization has work happening around social connection. So nationally and internationally there's a real focus on people connecting to stay mentally healthy, and men's sheds are a perfect way to do that.
As the saying goes, a problem shared is a problem halved. Is that sort of the sort of thing community and connection tackles?
Definitely. Having a place to talk about your issues, to share your successes, to meet with people that have a similar lived experience is really, really important. In mental health services, we actually employ people with lived experience of mental health as part of our treatment teams now. So they can share their recovery journey with people, which is really, really important to know that mental health is something that you need to live with for your whole life, that you can recover or have an element of recovery in your life.
And it really does let you know that you're not alone in your issues, in the things that are going on in your life. There's others that have trod this path. There's others that have taken on these challenges and come out the other end successfully, and therefore gives you the impetus and the ability to sort of look through your own problems and say, you know what, there's another side to this.
Yeah, I think that experience of seeing other people cope with something or solve a problem is really, really important. And even while you're sitting with a problem or a mental health challenge, just having someone or a group of people that can wrap around you and lean into you a little bit to provide that support. Clinical services can only achieve so much. You live in a community, you don't live in a health system. So you really need to be connected to your community.
What's the old saying? It takes a village.
It takes a village. I was just saying to the guys here, my son says your vibe attracts your tribe. So that's the new version of it.
I'm with Ashely Dawson talking about mental health and well-being, and I've just seen the most amazing dragster. It's all kitted out. It's got the big engine. It's got the big wheels. It's got the pointy front end. But on the side it says Mental Health Hub Nitro Garage. Ashely, tell me all about this dragster and how it connects.
My passion's been drag racing for a long time, and as I grew up, it was didn't dawn on me till a little bit later in life. It was supporting my mental health. And my father and I had a souvenir business we used to take around to various car shows and events. And that's what brought me in contact with drag racing, and I just simply fell in love with it. And honestly, it's got me through a lot of interesting times in my life.
On the side of the dragster, it says AVA-Chat, apostrophe AVA Chat,
Yep.
Mental Health Support Group. Can you tell us a bit about them?
Yeah, so the Nitro Garage Mental Health Hub in development, but we're just about ready to open the doors. It's a community where people can come together around cars. Cars are not necessarily the focal point, it's just the central point of common interest, where similar to a men's shed, it's just you get around and have a chat. And the idea of have a chat is just get a group of people together and just come and support each other and talk about life, but also have productive conversations as well to help them move forward.
All around a common interest, of course.
Yeah. And in this case, it just happens to be cars and racing. There's a few other organisations out there similar to what we do, and we encourage people to explore the different opportunities and different organisations that are out there and find their home. But for me, my passion is drag racing, and I've always wanted to use it as a tool to inspire people. So I formed the Racing for Significance Foundation back in 2017, and the message of that is race on the strip, safe on the street. Oh. So it started by me taking this to schools to getting that message across with kids. But now it's more than that. It's really just about engaging people and helping them be a part of something.
But once again, focused around an area of joint interest, something that creates curiosity and then opens up the conversation on a deeper level maybe.
Absolutely, and I can relate, just when I'm working on this with friends or with people, we just start talking about life.
Yeah.
And it feels good because it can get very lonely.
Yeah.
I think I'm blessed to have the ability to be able to work through that and have people around me that can support that. But there's a lot of people out there that don't have that. And we want to create a space and a community and environment where people can come along and just feel a part of the family.
I think the beauty of this sort of approach, Ash, is that it demedicalises mental health and well-being. It's just about, hey, bro, you like this, I like this. Let's get together and have some fun. And while we're having a conversation, we can get into some deeper stuff if need be. But it's not necessary. We can still enjoy our company and our time together around a common interest and a common goal. Ash, this machine looks absolutely fantastic. I wish you all the best putting this organisation together. Tell me, before we go, what's your best time?
So far, 7.77 seconds. But it's still got a little bit more in it. We're just sorting a few little things out, but it's quite the thrill.
A little bit of fine-tuning to go. Thank you very much for talking to us. JPY, back to you in the studio.
Well, thank you very much, Stuart. Great to hear that you're out on the road there and doing a wonderful service for the mental health of Australia.
On the road, on the Shed Wireless.
On the road, let's hear from David Westlake, former president of the Wynnum Manly Shed, talking to Marty about what makes the local area great.
All right, JPY, we're keeping with the Wynnum Manly theme of this thing. We want to know, what is it about Wynnum Manly that is so appealing? Let's learn a little bit about the area where we are today. So with me today, I've got the former president of the Wynnum Manly Men's Shed, David Westlake. G'day, David, how are you?
I'm good, thanks, Marty. Really good, mate.
Mate, how long were you president for of the Wynnum Manly Men's Shed?
12 years.
12 years, is that it? And you're giving up the ghost?
Yes, mate. It's time to step aside for a little bit, give somebody else a go, get some new ideas into the shed. They seem to think that I've gone a bit stale, so after 12 years, I think I've done as much as I can do.
Well, you still smell pretty good, I suppose, so that's all right. But no, mate, you did an absolutely fantastic job from what I've heard from all accounts, and my dealings with you have been fantastic. And the other day, when we had the big breakfast, you received a special award, yeah?
I was too embarrassed. I was really embarrassed when I was called up for this award. My wife Anne and myself, we do a lot of community work, and the state member Joan Pease brought it down and presented it in front of all these bloody people who were here. Was nice, but I was embarrassed.
Incredible, mate, and well, absolutely well deserved from what you've done and what your wife Anne has done in the area, and the fundraising, especially for the shed, but not only other community projects. Yeah.
And I also started the shed off.
You started the shed 12 years ago, yeah?
14 years ago.
14 years ago.
Yeah, 14 years ago, on the 6th of July 2011.
Yeah.
I formed the Wynnum Manly and District's Men's Shed.
Well done. Well, congratulations to you. And look at it now, mate. Look, we'll talk about the area, but if for no other reason, if you're in the area, come and see the Wynnum Manly Men's Shed, because it is brilliant.
Yeah, it's one of the best sheds in Australia. We were told we're number.
Big call, mate. Big call.
We were told we were number one in Australia, so we'll stick to number one.
Who told you number one? Come on.
I don't want to drop any names, but I thought, was it Marty's his name, Marty?
I don't think so, mate. Don't dip me in the shit. I'm very diplomatic when it comes to best shed in Australia. I cannot say that. No, we'll start a furor here. The emails are coming in already. Crikey, right? No, but a very good shed nonetheless. Nonetheless, mate. Yeah. Not only did you start the shed, you've been president for 12 years, but you were born and bred in Wynnum Manly?
I was born in Wynnum. There was a little birthing hospital at Wynnum called St Kilda's. Yep. It's gone now, but it was a big birthing hospital in the area. That's where I was born in Wynnum. Never shifted from the area. Loved the area. I couldn't move away.
Unbelievable. What year were you born? Or you're giving away too much?
44.
44. Holy moly. No. Oh, wow. There you go. So born and bred, lived here all your life, never lived anywhere else?
Never. No, I lived in Manly, which is just an adjoining suburb, and shifted from Manly to Wynnum.
For those of you who don't know where Wynnum Manly is, probably about 25 minutes from Brisbane Airport, I'd say.
Be about that, about 25 minutes from the airport, about 20 minutes from the city. It's a great little town. It was like a little country town. It's growing now. We get a lot of high rise and all that sort of crap in here now, which I don't really agree with. I'm old fashioned, but it's a great area. Like if you were to drive into Wynnum, you go along the foreshore, you see the most beautiful boat harbour. We've got a harbour there. It's the biggest in eastern Queensland. And I'm not sure about the eastern coast. I think it might be the biggest on the eastern coast as well. But it is absolutely marvellous. The beaches along there are beautiful. When the tide's in, it's beautiful. When the tide's out, there's a little bit of mud laying around, but we can go out and dig worms for fishing and all that. Plenty of fish here. It's a great place.
It's the Moreton Bay area.
Moreton Bay area, that's right, yes.
And still under the Brisbane Council?
Brisbane City Council, yes.
So, and mate, I just took a bit of a drive through here. The boardwalk there is massive. How long is that boardwalk, do you reckon?
That boardwalk would go for probably 1.5 kilometres.
No, it's more than that.
You think it is?
Oh, mate, I was going to say about 5 or 6 kilometres, easy.
Could be.
Yeah.
That was across the front of the old dump where we are at the moment. We're sitting on an old dump site. The previous Deputy Premier, Tom Burns, whom I worked for, he proposed that they put a boardwalk there. So Tom got the boardwalk put in, and it goes from Wynnum North over to Lytton Hill.
Like I just drove down there, and it's like a massive drive down to where all the cafes and a very chic area down there. But it's just a hive of activity, people walking. If you like your morning walks, that is the place to be. Morning walks or bike rides, that is the place to be. But like you say, when the tide's out, it's a little bit muddy. But when the tide comes in, what about 12 o'clock or something?
Oh, it comes in about every 12 hours. The tides rotate round, like
But even I was here the other day, and you just saw the water come in beside the shed there. The tide comes in that far.
And up the drain beside our shed when it's high tide, I got fish in there, and their brim, they'd nearly be 200, 250 long, big, about 250 in length. A good sized brim. They come up, I feed them every time the tide's in, and they got quite friendly with me.
Brilliant. So what did you do when you were growing up here? A lot of fishing, and what else?
Fishing. Fishing was a big thing. Had a boat, used to row a boat out to Green Island, that's about 5 kilometres out of 6 kilometres. Row a dinghy out there, crab, fish. I'd never ever caught a big snapper, but they're all small snapper. Whiting, parrotfish. Plenty of sand crabs. You'd go out there, row out and get 3 dozen sand crabs and just row back home again. And give them to the neighbours around the place,
Brilliant. So what are some of the main attractions here? What are the draw cards? I noticed there's a marina down there.
The marina, that is beautiful. And they've got a great cafe in there, or restaurant in there. You can get really good food there. Then you go out past the marina and you go out to the spit. There's a spit there, and you look out over the mouth of the harbour where all the boats come in. We just watch the boats coming in. And it's just a beautiful area. You couldn't better it. You could not better it.
Oh, you're making some big calls here, mate. Making some big calls.
I know. It's a beautiful area, and if people come down here just to visit Wynnum, they would see how beautiful it is.
And so, plenty of accommodation. It's becoming a pretty chic area, though, isn't it? You said a lot of high rises coming up in the area. But you still got the Sunday market. Still got the country feel about it. You got the Sunday market. There's a regatta or something, is there?
The businessmen, they have a regatta go out in their big sailing boats and play around out in the bay, and it's very nice.
Lifestyles of the rich and the famous,
It is, yeah. Just that I'm not one of them. That's all. Yeah.
Now you're retired, mate, and now you've stood down from the presidency. You can go and join them.
Yeah, I can. Yeah. I got to say though, our shed has got some really good gear. We've got thicknesses, we've got laser cutters, we've got 3D printers for the boys that don't get out in the shed. We've got a pool table, we've got darts, we've got cards, we've got all that sort of stuff. In the metal shed, we've got pan brakes, we've got milling machines, we've got metal lathes, we've got robotic plasma cutters, we've got all that gear. We're really set up as one of the best.
Well, you do have some good businessmen that live in the area, don't you?
Yeah. We've got our 3D router, that cost us $50,000.
Unbelievable.
And it does a lot of work. We been cutting out a lot of Santa Claus for local Rotary to here. Yeah. They hire them out every Christmas. So we're going to cut another 40 out this year for them for next Christmas, and not the Christmas coming, the following one. Yep. So they'll have them for then, and yes.
Well, there you go, guys. So if you're a shedder or a grey nomad on the road, make sure you put Wynnum Manly on your stopping list, and stop by, go to the cafes and enjoy the beautiful boardwalks, the beautiful beachside feel, but also come and visit the shed. And maybe get your hands dirty if you're a shedder. I'm sure they'd have you for the day. You take some little on the side visitors and things to come.
Yeah. Look, we really encourage people to come down and visit, especially outsiders. We got a few come up from Newcastle and all those places. They come up and look in on us and keep a check on us.
We come up here when it's cold down there.
Is that what it is? Yeah. Right. Yeah. So anyhow, but I've got to say, fundraising for our shed is great. We do Manly markets. We have a market there once a month. The vice president, he runs that one, Richard. Then I got one at Bunnings, which I run at Bunnings. Bunnings is a good one. We bring in about $3,000 a week from there. Richard brings in the $2,000 from Manly markets.
Well, mate, you need to do all this fundraising if you're going to buy $50,000, CNC routers, aren't you?
Yeah, that's right. And I got to say, my wife, she has donated to the shed $150,000 doing garage sales. Yeah. She's been doing garage sales for the shed for 11 years. For the shed.
So you go to Bunnings, buy yourself a new set of tools, and she sells it at a garage sale. That's great.
I think what she does, I think she steals my tools and sells them in the garage.
Exactly. I know, that's what I mean.
Yeah. But over 11 years, she's given $150,000 to the shed.
Wow.
Which is a great lot of money. We have actually made her an honorary member of the shed. Yep. And also we got a nun as an honorary member.
Yeah, we've spoken to our sister Angela Mary. Yeah.
Right,
Brilliant.
Sister Angela Mary. I've been a friend of hers since.
Well, there was a bit of a story there. She told us a bit of the story with the adoption thing.
She told you that, did she? Yeah. Well, I met her in 1971. Yeah. I think it was. Yeah, 1971 when she handed us our baby. Yeah. Unbelievable. So been friends ever since. And she comes down. This is her shed. Yep. She calls it her shed. Yeah, she said that. She's one lovely lady. Yep.
Well, there you go, guys. Come and visit Wynnum Manly and the Wynnum Manly Men's Shed, and ask for David Westlake if you're here, and say good day. He's got plenty to say and do with the place, and it is definitely a beautiful part of the world. I'll give you that. All right, mate. Thank you very much. It's been an absolute pleasure.
Thank you very much.
Good on you, mate.
Thank
talk
you.
To you soon.
Back
to you, JPY.
Rip Woodchip, pack the esky and hit the highway for this one. He's nailed it with Rip on Road Trippin', with some great tips for both long and short trips. I don't think I could do either with him, honestly.
Nailed it. Nailed it.
Nailed it with Rip Woodchip.
G'day, Shedders, Rip Woodchip here. Retired tool sharpener, full-time chinwag specialist, and part-time navigator of the open road. Got me to thinking, there's something about hitting the road that gets right into a bloke's bones. Could be the hum of the tyres, the smell of the fresh coffee at the servo, or the mystery bag meat pie that you hope might be beef. Either way, getting out and about can do wonders for the head and the heart. A lot of us shedders love a good road trip. Whether it's heading off to visit the grandkids, checking out another shed a few towns over, or loading up the caravan for a lap of the country. But as we get a bit older, and a bit creakier in the knees, travelling needs a bit more planning than it used to. So here's a few Rip Woodchip travel tips. Learn the hard way, mind you. mostly on the side of the road with the bonnet up. First up, don't rush it. You're not a courier van. If it says 8 hours on the map, make it 10 and enjoy the ride. Stop, stretch, have a yarn. You'd be amazed what you can find in a small town, a good bakery, an even better shed, and maybe a story or two for your next smoko break. Second, check your rig before you go. And I don't just mean the car. Check your own rig. Medications packed, hearing aids charged, glasses, phone charger, all the essentials. Because nothing ruins a good road trip faster than realising you've left your blood pressure tablets on the kitchen bench. Third, connect with other sheds. Wherever you go in Australia, chances are there's a men's shed not too far away. Drop in, introduce yourself, and say you're part of the mob. You'll be welcomed quicker than a bloke with a box of Tim Tams. In fact, why not take a pack of Tim Tams? And while you're at it, keep in touch. Let someone know where you're headed, especially if you go on bush or out of phone range. It's not about fuss, it's just smart travel. Oh, and if you're caravanning, do yourself a favour and join a few of the Shedder forums or traveller groups online. Great for tips on camp spots, tool hacks, and what not to do with your awning in a windstorm. Trust me, I learned that one the hard way. So whether you're heading to the next town, the next state, or just down the road for a yarn and a cuppa, take it easy, enjoy the journey, and remember, life's too short to drive past a good bakery. Alright, that's enough for me, I'm out of here. I'm off to top up the thermos and find where I put the map. Or was it me glasses? No. Catch you down the track, Shedders. See you next time.
Well, hope you've enjoyed our episode today. We're starting to plan the wireless episodes for next year. So if you've got a great idea and a burning subject you'd like to hear covered, or you know a great shedder we should talk to, drop me a line at theshedwireless@menshed.net. The Shed Wireless is produced by the Australian Men's Shed Association, made in Australia and distributed all over the world for the love of shedding.
Don't matter if you work with wood or fabricating metal is the thing you understood. Whatever is your game, everyone's the same. Yeah, we can do it all at the Men's Shed. Short, fat, tall, skinny, hairy, bald. In the shed it's welcome one and all. Share the skills you know, we're all having a go. There's a helping hand in the Men's Shed. Yeah, there's something for you at the Men's Shed.